Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, all.
I am not Evan Chu. That is my son. He is 6 years old. I don't know how his name has taken over my Zoom account.
If you go to the top right of where you see yourself, there's 3 little buttons.
Oh, got it.
Click on that and then rename. You can rename. I know you learn something new about Zoom every day. It's like, my son came over and disabled the waiting room, and I didn't know how to do it the other day. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, "Oh, interesting name."
Yeah. Well, he's 6 and he has his own Zoom meetings, and somehow he's taken over my account.
Yeah, my son does too. I set him up his own separate Zoom for play dates, and he has one for school.
It's Friday. Yes. Although all the days look the same to me.
I know. They do.
It's like Groundhog Day. You get up and it's like, I don't know what day it is.
I don't know either. Oh my gosh. So just a little piece of business. Angela, I made you co-host. Apparently we have the waiting room on and I didn't know it. And so if you happen to see anybody sitting in the waiting room, you can just help.
Yeah, you could. That's what happened to me the other day. That's what I was saying. If you click disable waiting room, it won't do that.
Can I click it during the meeting? Do you know?
Yes, because he came over and did it to me. It's like,
Oh, how do I do that?
I think it's participants.
I just disabled it.
You did? Oh,
Okay,
God
cool.
bless you.
Yeah. Yay.
Thank you.
Yeah. For future, on the participants panel, at the bottom where it says more, if you click more, then you're able to check or uncheck enable waiting room.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a real nightmare when that happens, having to let everybody in.
Oh, look, I have a mute all button. I feel so almighty and powerful. Well, hello, ladies. Hello. Welcome to our WREN Happy Hour. Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. Oh, Catherine's already starting. That looks beautiful and refreshing.
I'm jelly. I'm jelly. I was going to say, I see you, Catherine. I'm jelly.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's just now 12:01. So we'll by the way, I'm Deborah Razzo. I'm the founder of the Women's Real Estate Network. So first I just want to show you, go down to the bottom for those of you who aren't used to Zoom, although I can't imagine who's not used to Zoom by now. Make sure you have your chat up and start chatting. We have people that RSVP'd to this from all over the United States. So, let us know where you're from. It's always nice to hear where you're from. And if you don't want to let us know where you're from, could you please at least let us know what you're binge watching right now? Because I could use something new.
Oh,
I need some, Catherine wanted to let everybody know she's drinking Crystal Light. Very good, Catherine. I'm so glad you're not hitting the hard stuff already.
Deborah, TCM movies.
TCM movies. That's interesting. I haven't gone back and watched any of the classics, right?
And no commercials either, so that's great.
Very good suggestion. Thanks, Joanne.
They've had a couple of good ones on from Catherine Hempert and Spencer Tracy and a couple other great people. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, you guys, if you don't already have a piece of paper and pen ready or something to take notes with, whether it's on your computer or not, you never know, right? When somebody's going to give you like that click, that great idea of how to do something, and you want to be able to capture it. So make sure you have a way to capture all the ideas that are discussed here. And also just know that all the ideas and all the things that are discussed here are not for everyone, right? We all have our different areas of concentration that we concentrate in on real estate. And you know, you need to do your own due diligence. Please have an attorney or a financial professional consult with you for anything that you want to move forward with. I believe, because this is our happy hour, we have some first timers here. So if it is your first time, we'd love to see your hand up. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, I want to tell you guys that our mission is to create a community of women in real estate that excel and empower each other. I was really blessed when one of our members said to me, what I love about WREN is that it feels like you're very committed to our success. And I'm like, yes, the point is getting across. We are committed to your success, right? That's what empowering each other is all about. And that's why that's part of our mission statement. We share experiences, we share resources, we share tools to help each other grow, both personally and professionally, because guess what? When we grow professionally, it's very hard not to grow personally. I mean, you want to make more money, you want to have a life that you dreamed of, guess what? You're going to have some personal growth involved in that. And that's what we're about too. We're about personal growth, professional growth, and we're also about having fun while we're doing it, right? So bring your sense of humor for sure. WREN is founded on 4 pillars, and I'd like to share my screen with you so that you can see the 4 pillars, because we love our little wren bird. And the 4 pillars is our nest. See how we do that? Our nest is networking. That's our first thing. Our main objective is to create a community where women in real estate will excel and empower each other. E is our education. We want to feature strong business women. We want to let you speak directly to them and how they're doing their business models, how they've made it. S is skill development, hands-on training. How do you figure out how to become a business owner, how to become a real estate investor? And once again, transformation, right? Where you get tools, you get help, you get the resource of our community to help you transform. So that's what WREN is all about. We also have sponsors that help us, and we have all kinds of people who support our organization. So welcome to all of you that are out there. I just wanted to give you a little background of what we're all about. I had something I wanted to share with you guys today. You know, I don't have to tell you this, like, it's a weird time we're in. I mean, it's a weird time we're in, right? And it's having an effect on all of us, right? Some of us are up thinking at 3 in the morning. That's me sometimes, right? Like, just like, gosh, it's all so weird. Right, okay, so yeah, oh, thank you for raising your hands and let me know I'm not there alone, right? Because it's just like, wow, you know, there's a lot going on, and it kind of makes you think about your life and where's it going and what is going in the direction I want it to go. And a friend of mine recently reminded me of the quote from Theodore Roosevelt, "The man in the arena." And I know that some of you are very familiar with this quote, but I would like to share it with you today because it has some significance to me. Theodore Roosevelt said, "It's not the critic who counts. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly."
Nice.
I wanted to share that because I don't think there's any of us that have been in this COVID environment who haven't felt like they've fallen short, right? And me included, right? Like, wow. And then I want to say, and I'm daring greatly. So congratulations to all of you for daring greatly, for daring to think I might be able to have the life that I desire, right? My impression is that everybody out here that's on this call today wants to fly. There's no one that wants to stay in a mediocre, miserable life. We want an amazing life. You know, and the problem is that our anti-self is the master of distraction and deferral. But the real you is the person that can show up and get through. And that real you dares greatly. Real estate is an amazing vehicle. It can bring you a lot of things. And I just wanted to remind everybody who already knows this, and some of you, I want to, you know, inject the thought to you that there's going to be trials, and daring greatly is going to pay off. It's going to get you that magnificent life that you dream of. So what do you need to do that? Do you need to brush up on your education? Is now a time to do that? Do you need resources? If so, what kind of resources? Connection, money, deals? Do you need to surround yourself with people that are drop dead serious about having an extraordinary life? Who is that? Who are you surrounding yourself with? I'm just going to tell you, I'm amazingly lucky that I have the privilege of working with an incredible team, and they're amazing women, and they're the WREN chapter leaders. And I know there's a few chapter leaders on our call today. They're incredible. Some of you have been to the WREN meetings and you know them. They're, you know, they lead us, they're fearless, they're fierce, and they're going for their extraordinary life. For some of you, there are first timers here today because this is our free happy hour. And I just want to say to you, this isn't like our regular meetings. At our regular meetings, we showcase a speaker for a long period of time, or we have a panel of speakers, and we have a lot of networking afterwards. Today is a happy hour, and what we're going to do is we're going to see a case study, and it's probably going to last about 10 to 15 minutes, an in-depth of somebody in our organization that's done something that wants to share it with us. We're also going to celebrate our wins. So there is a very dear friend of ours, Iris Veneration, who started Champagne Fridays. And, you know, because we need to celebrate our wins, especially us women. We're not great at patting ourselves on the back. And so sometimes we need a group of other women there going, come on, just tell me one thing that was great, or it's something that happened this week that was wonderful, so that we can celebrate together, so that we can, you know, we can share that with each other in our community. So I'd like to start out by acknowledging a win, and that's with Angela. Angela is going to be sharing with us today her case study of a flip that she did. And for some of our WREN members, we have member-only meetings, and some of you have seen this case study, but I thought it was a really great case study to show some of the first-timers here about how you can get things done. So Angela, go ahead and take it away.
Yes. Hey, ladies. Happy Friday. Yes. Hopefully everyone can see my screen. I just shared it. Deborah, you are amazing. I just want to take a moment and say I'm so happy that I have found WREN and this community because it gives me a jolt of energy every time I attend an event. And you're so correct. You know, your network is your net worth. And I'm so blessed to be surrounded by so many positive and strong and successful women. So thank you all, ladies, for joining us today. Yeah, again, my name is Angela Stillman. I am one of the newer San Diego chapter leads for WREN. I am here showing a case study of a flip that I just completed in April, which feels like so far away, so long ago. So a little bit about me to help you understand how I came into this flip. I am one of the newer chapter leaders, or one of the newer real estate. I'm newer to real estate. I started my business a year and a half ago. I quit my full-time six-figure IT job when I discovered the possibilities that real estate can provide and the financial freedom that it can set myself up with. So I started my real estate journey first through education. I joined a real estate education company and took some time to set up my business, took some time to understand the flip process. I've always been interested in real estate, but you know, there's a lot of different ways to tackle it. I wanted to tackle this as a business, as a professional. So that's what I learned how to do. So this property I found on Redfin. So part of my marketing strategy for finding rehabs is to just look on the MLS, look on Zillow, you know, every day, every other day. You have motivated sellers who want to sell, and that's why they're listing their property. I was looking for a diamond in the rough. So this property, I'll actually start moving forward with some of my photos here. This property was a diamond in the rough. As you can see, it was an original owner. It is a condo, a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and it had original carpet, lots of colors on the wall. It had an original dingy kitchen, and it was listed on the MLS for $365. But I knew my market, right? One of the things you want to do as you're looking for your target area is know what the median list price is, what the median sale price is. And I knew that it was priced a little bit over market. So a strategy that definitely worked was reaching directly out to the listing agent. So I called the listing agent directly to understand the motivation of the seller, very important, and learned that the owner of the home had returned to the East Coast because they were ill, and then unfortunately they passed away. They did not pass away in the home. They did pass away with their family. So the property was passed down to his son, who still lived on the East Coast. So a lot of motivation, right, from that now new owner. He did not want to keep the property. He did not want to manage it across the coast. He was ready to get rid of it. So as I went to evaluate the property, I knew my numbers. I utilized a spreadsheet that if you plug in what your rehab costs are, what your acquisition price, what your hold time. I love Excel, and Excel tells me what to do. So one of the things I've learned as I've been venturing into real estate is fall in love with the numbers, not the property. So my numbers guided me, and I negotiated the 365 price down to ultimately 321,900. Now I will say one tip is that I started off at 325, and I knew that once I had my inspection, there might be a potential to reduce the price more. So that is one thing I was able to do. So I started at 325, signing the purchase agreement, but then throughout the contingency process was able to reduce it another about $4,000. Another tip for those who are new is make sure you interview your partners. I have a list of hard money, a list of private lenders, a list of contractors, and a list of realtors. And at every stage, I evaluated at least 3 of who I was going to use. So when I purchased the property, I sent out my email, my mass email to all of my hard money lenders to see what their terms were. I put together a packet for all of my private money lenders to see, you know, were they looking to earn interest on their funds still. Once I got to the point where I was ready for contractors, I contacted, 4 of my top contractors, had them all come into the property, provide me bids, review the scope of work, and then evaluated their timeline as well. the last part, when I was done with the construction of the property, I even interviewed real estate agents of who was going to list the property. Although as rehabbers, we do a lot of work and the property is basically sitting on a platter, right, for the real estate agent, ready for them to sell it, but there's still work that they have to do. And they still have different prices. So that was a big lesson and actually saved me about $8,000 with the sale of my property. I had one agent who was actually in my education network who wanted to charge pretty high marketing fees, pretty high transaction coordinator fee, wanted to set my ARV price, and then if the property was purchased for more than the ARV, they wanted an additional 25% on top of that listing fee. Now I was new, and they were a part of my network, and it was like, I trusted this person. But I did my due diligence and I talked to 3 other real estate agents who were just offering a flat, 1% commission listing for themselves as the seller's agent, and then the typical 2.5 for the buyers, and they were covering all marketing costs. And because of that due diligence, I went with a great realtor who's local, who knows the area. We sold the property, and I think it was on the market for just 11 days before we accepted our price. And then we sold it for 25 grand over our original ARV. So that would have been in the middle of COVID. So that would have been, what was that?
That's
did someone say something? Yay, yes, yay, yes. So I mean, a couple of lessons learned that I take away, and I hope they're helpful for those who are new or old in the business, is, don't forget, if you're not already, talk directly to the listing agent, establish that rapport, have your lenders and your contacts and your partners lined up, and make sure you talk to multiple people. Even if you've had a really good relationship with people you've used in the past, make sure their numbers are always up to snuff compared to, the current, compared to the current market. And then know your numbers, right? Know what room and flexibility you have. I had about 3 exit strategies. One of them being, if this didn't go well, I was going to move into this property. But it was an exit strategy. So yeah. Any questions? I wasn't looking at the chat while I was going through. Let's see here. Oh, thank you guys.
You're getting major kudos, Angela. So thank you so much. Yeah. Anybody who has a question, please just write it into the chat. Thank you, Angela, for sharing that. Like, lots of little tips, right? I love what you said about love the numbers, not the property, right? We have a tendency sometimes to fall in love with the property, and you got to love those numbers. It reminds me of something someone once told me about, make sure your fixer-uppers are properties and not who you're dating. But that's a different story. Maybe a reflection of who I was dating at the time. But anyway, the other thing that I love, the little nugget that you had, is talking about who you list it with, right? So one of my methods that I use is whatever area I'm in, I definitely interview the top agents, the top producing agents, right? They're the ones that are actually really in motion. They've got that. They've got all that stuff in line, right? And they are closing deals, closing deals, closing deals. There's the closers in the area. And I always interview the top closers in the area, wherever I am and whatever I'm flipping. So does anybody have any other, somebody said, can we talk about gap funding? Did you put gap money on this, Angela, or was it your own funds? Can you say anything?
Yes, I love this part. I forgot the most exciting part. I did this deal with no money out of my pocket.
We love that. We love that. Oh, you got some people's attention. I saw some eyes light up, right? So let's talk about how to do that.
Yeah, so I earned, between my hard money lender and my private lenders over 15 grand in interest payments, right? So I used the hard money lender for the initial purchase price, and then I used private lenders for the gap funding. And not only for gap funding to purchase the property, again, this goes with knowing your numbers, I also utilize private lenders for my buying costs and my holding costs. Now, you don't always have to do that, but by having those funds set aside, I actually got 20 grand in my bank account when I closed on the initial purchase of the property. So, and then I was able to utilize that with paying out the contractors, and then I got more money when I closed.
So there's a thing in the message. How much profit did you end up making? I thought the spread that last page showed us how much you ended up making.
Yep, it was 54,000.
54,000. That's fabulous. How long did it take from close to relisting, the rehab process?
Yeah, actually, let me just share my screen again here. It was a hold time of 3 months. It was less than 3 months. I estimated 3 months. I'm a project manager, so I will give you, I'm very tight with my timelines. We estimated 3 months. We actually closed at 2 months and 2 weeks. That was from purchase.
Can you give us the spreadsheet right now? We're looking at ourselves. When you shared your screen. Oh.
Let's try that again.
Yeah.
Stop video share. There we go. Working on a lot, guys. All right. Can we see that?
I see a black screen.
Oh.
It was there a little while ago.
Oh. Can you see it now?
I'm seeing a black screen.
Okay. Well.
All right. Well,
I can still
yeah.
It was 54,000, sorry, was the profit.
That sounds great. 54,000. And let me see if there's any other, okay, so we don't have any other questions in the chat box regarding your particular job. We do have a couple other questions. Margit Brooks, do you want to ask your question?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I think I posted 2 questions. I'm not sure. Was it about the HML?
Yeah. What is it that you're looking at?
Okay. Yeah. I've been doing this now for 2 years, and I had 3 flips, and the last one is just about to go on the market now. And I love doing what I'm doing, and I'm learning a lot and great networking and stuff, but I really have the hardest time finding good hard money lenders, and especially private money lenders. I mean, everybody I hit up, especially private money lenders, I get no's, and I don't know. I mean, I hit up anybody I can think of, plus strangers. So what's a good way to find a private money lender?
You know, these are great questions. And Margaret, can I ask you what city that you're in?
Oh, I'm in Alaska. I'm in Wasilla, Alaska.
Oh, well, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for attending today. You know, I don't know exactly the market in Alaska. I'm in Los Angeles, but I do know that I get to talk to a lot of people all over the US. And that is, the hard money lending market is very temperamental right now, right? Just like our subprime market, you know, a lot of the banks, as soon as COVID happened, kind of retracted, and they're being very conservative right now. So, you know, my advice to you is definitely reach out to other investors, other flippers, find out, you know, what hard money lenders they're using, find out who is still lending. I know that, you know, one of our sponsors, who's Trillion, you know, they have been very tentative in getting back into the market. They're not even, you know, at full speed again since this COVID hit. So that's my suggestion to you on that. As far as private money goes, I think everybody's entry into private money is different. But I think what we all agree on is that private money is about relationship, right? You need to really make sure that you are putting yourself out there and getting to know what the people that you're talking to need. It's about what their needs are and about the returns that they can get on their money. We do have a specialist in raising private capital, and that's one of our chapter leaders, Jen Maldonado. She's our Los Angeles chapter leader. I don't think she's on the call today because I talked to her earlier and she had a really bad headache. But if you want to email me, drazzo@wreninspires.com, and remind me of this conversation, then we can I can give you a referral offline.
We'll do that. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Is there? I don't see any other questions in the chat. So I'd like to change directions of this conversation, and I'd like to start celebrating our wins. So a friend of mine, Iris Veneration, she's a flipper, and I think a lot of you know her. She used to celebrate with Champagne Fridays. And she would have champagne every time she opened escrow, every time she closed escrow, every time, you know, she had a win happen. And oh, Karen, I see you smiling. Karen Moore is here. Karen and Iris used to work together. I think Karen and Catherine, I'm sure, you know, you guys participated in a lot of Champagne Fridays. So it is Friday, so let's celebrate our wins. So does anybody have a win that they just want to celebrate? Should we just, let's put it in the chat for now so that we're not all speaking at once, but anyone have a win they want to put in here? I heard a ding. Okay. All right, guys. What's going on? Okay, Linda, I just signed a deal on my first one in AK. Is that Arkansas? Linda, you want to unmute yourself?
Yes, here I am. Yeah, I've been vulturing on this particular kind of condo. It's in Alaska, and I just got one, and I just signed the deal yesterday, so I'm really jazzed about it. It's the first of more than one.
Wow, congratulations. Let's everybody clap for Linda. Yay, celebrate Linda. That's well done, well done.
Thank you, so excited.
Cool. Clarissa, you said you had something. Oh, now people are all coming in. Clarissa, you're next.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Yeah, it's slowed down a little bit for sure on finding money, but this week I was able to raise another 20K for a couple of small deals that I had going, so that's really good.
Cool. Congratulations, Clarissa. Celebrate. Hey, Tracy. Yay. Tracy's on. I haven't seen you in a while, Tracy. Unmute yourself, sweetie.
Hi, everybody. So I have a win. I have a project that went south, but I managed to turn it around. I've created the specifications, and I'm waiting for the city to correct the zoning. And I'm looking for a GC to make it happen.
Way to go, hun. Okay, so I think you get like 2 glasses of champagne, because when you have a project that goes south and you turn it around, that's a double win. Way to go. Way to go. Oh my gosh. Catherine, you know, you fired your PM. Congratulations. What happened there?
You know, it was just dead after coronavirus hit, and I lost so many bookings, and, you know, lost probably $50,000 just overnight. So I kind of was letting things continue and trying to do what I could from afar, but I finally just made the break, fired my property manager on my 4 listings, and went ahead and started working it and getting my hands dirty and, you know, dealing with all the queries and everything every day. And was within a couple days, I was able to book one party coming for about 6 weeks for $10,000. So that was like, okay, that's a relief now. So I'm still working on the other stuff and getting it all online and onboarded and back into my own sphere. So yeah, so I've just been working really hard on that stuff, and it's helping. It's not perfect yet, but I feel better than I did 2 weeks ago. And I'm in control.
Catherine, if you don't mind, do you mind just telling people about a little bit about what you do for those people that are new and don't know you?
Yeah, so I have short-term rentals, and I have a couple units in Santa Monica and a couple in Malibu. And I've had them forever and have dealt with the various cities and issues that have come up. I had a lot more at one point with my ex. So these are the 4 that I have, and I've been having them managed by a company. As part of the settlement with my ex, we really had to have them managed by someone else. And now that that's over, I'm able to manage them myself, which wasn't really my first choice. I'd rather be doing other big picture things. But considering the crisis with COVID and all that, a lot of cancellations, I just had to sort of pivot and get my hands dirty again, if you will, and take control back. You know, add photos that show, you know, our cleaning procedures and things like this to get people, you know, booking. And it's working. It's not, like I said, it's not at 100%. I'm not where I was a year ago with the bookings that I have for the summer, but it's definitely picked up, and I'm no longer like in fear of my life, if you will.
Congratulations, Catherine. Have a big glass of champagne tonight for that. Way to go.
Catherine or Deborah, this is Jennifer. Can you guys hear me?
I got you, Jennifer. Go.
Yeah, well, I don't have internet, so I'm just on my phone. Catherine, I have somebody who might be able to work for you for the management of that if you're interested. So I don't know how to reach out to you.
Actually, I'm not interested in anyone else managing at this point. I just fired my property managers, one of them this week and one the week before. So I'm now doing what it takes to make it happen, and being in control and being able to change my mind quickly about what price I'm willing to take is important at this juncture. And maybe in a couple months, I'd be ready to think about that again. But right now, I'm just doing myself. Yeah, thank you, though.
That's fine. What she does is she does housing for families that are placed by insurance. So you're basically dealing with the insurance company and the rates. And so it's more long-term rental for the different homes. So you don't have quite the turnover and stuff. Okay. Well, when you're interested, if you want to reach out to me, then I'm happy to put you in contact with them.
Thanks for sharing that resource, Jennifer.
Yeah, and the phone number that's showing on the screen, that would be the phone number I would reach you at?
Yeah, the 310-874-7637, yes.
Okay,
great. She does all that stuff and tends to do higher end homes and she deals with all the phone calls and all that stuff, and then it makes money for her clients. So,
okay, I'll call you afterwards.
Okay, yeah, whatever. If it can be of service to you, great. If not, then don't worry about it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys. And by the way, you're both members, so you guys could actually chat in the member portal as well. So, FYI.
Yes, but I'm not online. Oh, yeah, true.
Okay, and I don't know how you're surviving without internet, Jennifer, so God bless you.
Well, it just went down. I was on it earlier this morning. It just went down when I got on, ran errands, came home, and our roommate said, no internet. I said, oh, man, I have a happy hour I have to get to. That's why I called you guys in. So I've just been listening, so I can't see any of the presentations. But Angela, you did a great one. So I could understand it, even though I didn't get to see the pictures.
Okay, we've got more people who have more wins. Yay, everything's coming in. Tracy, Peggy, you're on here. Peggy has a win. Hi, hon. I haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, you didn't see me yesterday on that pick call?
I wasn't on. I wasn't on all the time.
Oh, okay. I thought you were on. Yes, we've had a really great year so far, best ever, raising capital, challenges, lots of challenges, but we're, like all of us gals, right? We just stepping one in front of the other. I also could use some help. I did post it. If you know a flipper in South Carolina, I'm taking a property back deed in lieu of foreclosure. So I'm looking for a flipper that would go out and fix the property up, sell it, get my mortgage money back like that. So yeah, that's been going on for a while.
Tell a little bit about what you do to everyone who, we have a lot of newbies on the call.
Oh, hi, I'm Peggy Beauregard, and as your real estate matchmaker, we save you time and you make money because the commercial deals come to us to vet out and the returns go to you. We work with different cash flow and ground up builders all over the United States.
Cool. Thank you, Peggy. And North Carolina, anybody know a flipper in North Carolina? Get a hold of Peggy or private messenger in the chat, please.
Yep. South Carolina.
Oh, sorry, South Carolina. Nancy has a win. Nancy, where are you?
We're in South Carolina. Just I have a crew out there.
Oh, great. It's in Smokes. I posted it. I put the address and everything, Clarissa. Thank you.
Thanks.
Nancy.
Hi everyone. I'm Nancy. I'm a realtor and I'm also a short-term rental Airbnb hoster. So I have a couple clients that I've been working with and I'm super excited. My buyer is signing loan docs today and we're closing escrow next week on a home of their dreams, which actually happened to be a flip. So it's a beautiful home in Fullerton. And my listing that I have in Anaheim, we've been on the market just a few weeks here, and now we've gotten multiple offers, and the seller's accepting one of those offers today. So I'm super excited for them.
Congratulations, Nancy.
Thank you.
You go, celebrate, girl.
Yeah, for sure. Opening the champagne. Thank you.
You know what? I just saw Clarissa put something in the chat, an additional, my tenants paid May rent too. Okay, here's to every tenants who got May rent. I got May rent as well. Yay! All right, that's fabulous. Okay, so congrats to all the wins. Okay, Angela, you have 3 STRs coming on market. What's going on? More wins for you? Tell us more about that.
I'm super excited. I've been working and learning with Poppy and Jay Bassey, and I have 3 short-term rentals in San Diego that will be on the market at the end of the month. So I have my interior designers and photographers setting them up next week.
I think I saw Poppy on this call. Yeah, Poppy, are you there? Oh, I don't know. I thought I saw her here. That's very cool, Angela. Congratulations. Celebrate that win. That's great. Okay. Woo, I'm scrolling down. Karen, you're finally back. Oh, you're finally back in your condo after the flood. Karen, where are you?
I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so last July, a pipe burst above me in my condo. And so we were dealing with HOA insurance company. We're dealing with 3 different insurance companies to get this done. And it's taken since last July, back in last week. So they had to tear out walls, floors, kitchen, everything. And it's been, once COVID hit, it was interesting, you know, getting vendors in. Of course, the ones who didn't want to work during COVID, we totally respect, but finding replacements wasn't always easy. So there were plenty of people who really did want to work, so that helped too. And everyone was really careful and respectful with masks and distance. But oh, I can't tell you how well I've slept these last 7 days. Have been just like, when you're somewhere temporary and you think it's going to be a couple months and then it just goes on. Like I never unpacked. I was living out of boxes in a suitcase thinking, just a few more weeks, every few more weeks. So just feels so great to be home, and my place is all brand new, paid for by insurance. So it's beautiful.
Yay! Congratulations, girls. You definitely need a glass of champagne today.
Yeah, I've got the bottle ready, but I'm waiting till a little bit later with some.
Hey, you know what, Karen, while you're on, and just so you guys know, Karen is one of our sponsors for hard money lending. She works with Trillion Capital. Do you mind giving us a little update about what's going on at Trillion and what you see going on in hard money lending in general?
Yeah, so we took a pause in lending in March. We are waiting for to see some stabilization, but we honestly haven't seen destabilization yet with the and inventory so low. There's still enough demand. We haven't had any of our finished flips have a hard time. No one has needed to lower their price to get it sold because of the rates are so low and inventory is so low. And of course, we're still servicing the projects in process. But as far as coming back full bore, we're not back full bore, but we are looking at deals. So we're just doing a little bit less LTV right now. So we're just playing it a little bit safer. I'll say we have not yet funded a new deal. We've looked at a couple. So if you're coming in and you've got a lot of room, like a lot of profit space so that you're really safe, or if you're willing to come in with a little more down, so we can be more at a 60% LTV, we can look at those deals. As I said, we're starting to look at deals now, but we haven't done one yet. But there are still people out there lending. I think I'm hearing a lot about rates and points being a little bit different, more like 2 and 3 points, and higher rates in general, just to mitigate the risk. But we certainly encourage you to use those COVID addendums to keep yourself safe in your offers. Make sure you have time and space to make changes if you need to get out. And just, I know there's deals. People are getting deals now. It's just a matter of the fear of, what the market's going to be like when it's time to sell. It looks like we're pretty good for a couple months here before all the unemployment, all of that hits as far as our buying pool. But you never, it's hard to say what's going to happen, and we're hesitant to, predict this sort of thing. We're just playing it safe and encouraging people to do the same. So we're always willing to chat. Feel free to check in. I have people that are calling me weekly to say, "Are you lending yet?" And I love those conversations because we get to touch base and see how each other is doing and what we're seeing. But yeah, as of now, we're still pretty much on pause and watching to see what the market's going to do.
Thank you for giving us an update. And for all of you that know, they lend really just in California. And so obviously there are, other things happening in other areas. So just take that into account. Going back to our wins, Lynn, I haven't seen you on one of our calls in a while. Lynn, why don't you chime in and tell us about your wins?
Sure. I'm really kind of definitely not looking good, but oh well, I gotta show my face anyways.
Just a bunch of girls.
So yeah, I've a lot of things are happening right now. There's a couple of different deals that I'm already been lending on for fix and flips out of state, and now I'm starting to do JVs on buy and holds out of state with the same particular investor. And I just actually launched last month a private money mastermind group. And that's going well. So, at first I didn't think things were going to be happening, but with all this COVID-19 and not being able to meet in person, but it's actually working out okay. So I've got like 25 different people in our mastermind doing Zoom. So it's going well. So excited about that and where it's going to go and what we're going to be doing.
Congratulations. Celebrate your win, Lynn.
Yeah. Woo, woo, woo. I'll break open the champagne thinking of Iris and everybody else. Hi, Catherine, and hi, Karen. Haven't seen you guys in a while.
Great to hear. All right.
Can you share your information, Lynn, in the chat?
I can only do it on my cell phone because my Wi-Fi at home is really bad. So I'll do the best I can in chat on my cell phone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. All right. I don't know if I missed anybody. If I missed somebody, can you just speak up right now? I think we got.
Oh, hi, it's Brooke.
Oh, hi, Brooke. I'm sorry I missed you.
Oh, that's okay. Hi, ladies. I'll make it quick. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Karen. Deborah.
Hi, Brooke.
I just wanted to share a quick little win about this group and the power and the awesomeness of this group, which Catherine introduced me to. So thank you so much. I joined one of the WREN Happy Nooner calls a couple of weeks back, and I was in a real pickle. I just put it out in the chat that I was looking to connect with someone who owned property in Pittsburgh because I own a property in Pittsburgh and I'm having some difficulties. And
someone connected me immediately with Rochelle Boyer, who owns 18 Doors in Pittsburgh, and I can't even tell you how wonderful she's been. She coached me along, introduced me to one of her colleagues there, who then introduced me to a wonderful property management company, and I needed to switch. So I've now switched, and I sure hope I'm in the process of turning around the property. So you can check in with me hopefully in July for a double champagne hit. Because I'm in the midst of turning the property around. So thank you so much. And it would not have been possible without you lovely ladies of WREN. So thank you.
Oh my gosh, that warmed my heart. So for those of you that don't know,
it's a great win.
Yeah, it's a fabulous win. And those of you that don't know, Rochelle is our chapter leader up in Seattle. She's kicked butt and she's got a very generous heart. I'm so glad that you were connected with her. I'm so glad that you could get helped out. And and thank you so much for sharing that, because that was part of the vision of WREN. Right? I'm an investor. I have buy and holds in Memphis, Tennessee. We all don't invest where we live, right? And it's so great to get connected with other people in other places that can help you out, that can give you resources where you're investing, where you're living, where if you are investing where you're living, you've got all those resources around you that you're willing to share. And how wonderful is it not to share these resources with other women real estate investors? I think it's wonderful because I don't believe that men are the same way. And it's not to say anything bad about men. I've gotten great education from men, but I think women have a tendency to help each other out a little more generously. And I just love to hear it when that's happened. So thank you so much, Brooke, for sharing that. Yay, Rochelle rocks. I'll have to tell her that she was talked about on today's call. Is there anybody else that has anybody else that has wins that you want to share? Anybody else? All right. Well, this we're going to take just like a couple minutes. If anybody has any general questions that they have a problem with a property, they have a problem that they're facing right now. If there's anybody that has anything that they want to bring up and they need like a little support with. We've got a wealth of women on this call and with a variety of experiences. So if you have something that's on your mind, or you have something that's going on that you're like, how am I going to navigate this? Please put it in the chat and let's bring it up and see if we can't help each other out here a little bit. And while you're thinking about that and people are putting it in the chat, I also want to bring up that we have things coming up in the next few weeks. And next Wednesday is our chapter meeting for May, and it's called Opportunities in Every Market. So we were actually wanting to discuss things that are more recession resistant, right? Because there's a lot of talk. I mean, we don't know where the economy is going, but there's a lot of money being pushed into the economy. And most of the time, as history dictates, a recession follows that. So there's a lot of speculation that we'll be in a recession, in a little bit. Unemployment is high. We don't know what's going on. So what are those asset classes that are recession resistant? We're going to actually hear from Terry and Aaliyah. They are partners in storage units. And storage units happens to be one of those asset classes that seems to be very recession resistant. They're going to talk to us for a little while, and then we're also going to hear from Christina Suter. Christina has been doing some really in-depth research on how viruses affect the economy. And she, for those of you that know, Christina is an economist at heart. And she's going to bring us some really interesting statistics about what the foreseeing of how COVID is going to affect real estate. She's going to do COVID, how it affects our economy, and then how it affects real estate directly. So it's going to be a lot of really interesting information. And that is next week. That's next Wednesday. In fact, I'm going to cut and paste this and put it in the chat right now for anybody who is interested in going. And there is a link to sign up. And we've got some questions. Okay, Tracy needs to know, a GC or subcontractor in in Ojai, time and materials. So Tracy, I'm going to tell you this. I've done a little work in Ojai. It's not resource rich. So, you know, the next best place is Ventura. But I will tell you this as well. I did a flip in Cambria, which for those of you that are not in California is about a 3.5 hour drive away from from LA. And it became more cost effective for me to get my vendors to give me my products in LA and truck them to Cambria than to actually get the products from the little specialty stores in small towns. So I just want to tell you that and let you know that my heart goes out to you. If anybody has a subcontractor or GCs in Ojai, please put it in the chat or speak to Tracy. Deborah says she's starting out and she's hoping to get some mentoring help in the Inland Empire of California. Deborah, are you starting with a particular model in mind? Or are you just starting to investigate real estate as an investment opportunity in general? You want to tell us?
Investigate. I've been listening to quite a bit of people in the industry, and of course that can, you know, throw you off having so much information coming in at once. I started learning about the fix and flips, wholesaling. You know, I do boots on the ground. I've talked to sellers from out of state, so I'm learning to do virtual, but it's kind of getting it all, you know, connected and focused basically on one. I'm learning about mobile homes because I'm trying to see what's comfortable, what fits, what I, you know, want to stay with. And so right now everything's kind of, you know, juggled in the, you know, trying to decide. And then with the changes, I didn't know what direction to go because it's like, okay, fix and flips are going to be on hold because lenders are not going to be the same. People can't move around. So, you know, virtual is going to be hard. I don't have the boots on the ground. Mobile homes, people got to stay. So it's kind of like that right now. And I just kind of, you know, need the accountability, you know, somebody to help that's, you know, out there that's doing it, that probably already experienced what I'm thinking, what I'm afraid of or not afraid of, you know. So that's why I said,
thank you so much for bringing that up, and I really appreciate your honesty here. You know, the fact of the matter is, a lot of us that have been in the industry for a long time know that we call it shiny object syndrome, right? Oh, look at that over there. That's fancy and sexy this month, and then this over here is fancy and sexy the next month. And the fact of the matter is that we all need to develop what I refer to as a personal income plan. So, you know, you need to know, do you have capital to invest? Do you need capital? Are you looking for long-term cash flow? What do you need to do first, right? I have a list of resources and I just sent you my email. Anybody who has resources, just contact Deborah in the private chat and, you know, send it to her. I think that after you start to get those kind of things, and I can give you some guidance offline as to, you know, how to figure out your investment philosophy. So thank you for bringing that up, because I think there are a lot of people out there that are just getting started and aren't quite sure where to put their time and their energy. You know, I just realized we only have 4 minutes. I want to be respectful of everybody's happy hour. So let me just say thank you all for coming out. I announced next week that we're having our meeting. And then I also want to announce that for our WREN members, we're going to have a member-only nooner on May 26th. So mark your calendar, and your links will be in your inbox. And we were going to be having more happy hours and more nooners in June. And those dates haven't been set yet with COVID. We've been kind of fluid. And then for those of you that are new, I'd also like to tell you that we have an annual event every year. It was supposed to be in April this year. And unfortunately, we had to move it. So our annual event is called Ignite Your Fire Within. It's a weekend event, and it's going to be October 10th and 11th. And I'm going to put those dates and, oh, whoops, put those dates. I need to put that to everybody. Put those dates on the chat as well as the link. I'm still really hoping that we're going to be able to meet in October. We don't know, but that's our intention for now. And then for those of you that have yet to become a member of WREN, and if you're interested, I just put a link in the chat to get more information about membership. As you can tell, it's a really incredible group of women who are willing to share their resources and connections. And as Iris Coalition would say, have fun.
Hi, how you doing?
Oh,
here I
okay.
brush. Okay.
Okay.
And this one is a color. You have to apply.
Mute. Okay, sorry, I just muted everybody. I don't know who that was. Okay, anyway, it is the end of our happy hour. I hope you guys are all going to pop a little champagne and just celebrate today. And, you know, I hope you guys think of a little bit about what I said about the quote I shared earlier with you. In fact, I will let you guys see that again. Stay in the arena, ladies, because it's those who strive valiantly and those who are at their worst that say that at least if they fail while daring greatly. I love that. Go, take on your week, enjoy, have a great weekend, and we'll see you, hopefully see you all next week. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Love you too.